Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to you, the viewers, and everyone else who's helped make this series possible. With special thanks to Mike Spark, Valinrook, Unstable Voltage, and of course, Snapshot Games. Thanks for your support, folks. That said, let's finish this. And welcome back to Phoenix Point, as we hastily bring our post-apocalyptic fairy tale to its bleak and predictable end. As you can probably tell, despite my best efforts, the Elder God Cthulhu has crashed the party, and the latest update has officially gone live. Now, I did make an effort to prevent this from happening, but unfortunately a series of unexpected events resulted in the game updating anyway, so here we are. Thankfully, we were parked right outside the Pandoran Palace, so we can still bring our adventure to a relatively natural conclusion. A bit more abruptly than originally planned, but you know what? Sometimes you've just got to roll with the punches. The last resort. To succeed, we have to inject the virophage directly into the Agothian receptacle's central cortex. Oh, is that all? Gosh, you make it sound so easy. 9-man squad again? That means that everyone but Leroy gets to come along. He'll hang back and keep an eye on the Helios for us. Thanks for your service, Leroy. See you on the other side. Take the injector and kill the gatekeepers. Well, that is a peculiar setup. Honestly, it kind of looks like we're walking right into a shooting gallery. Then we've got another combat arena. And that would be the Agothian receptacle. Oof, almost 10,000 hit points. Okay, well, the intent of this weird barrier here is pretty obvious. That's just there to prevent us from hanging back and launching missiles into the shooting gallery. I think it's fair to assume that we're going to see quite a few Pandorans once we round that corner. I'm assuming that's our injector. Oh, look at that. We've already got enemies in sight. Arthron Brute Alpha. Looks to be a pretty standard melee build. I think we're out of its perception range, and we're definitely out of its movement range, so we should be fine. Siren. Siren Hellion. Pretty standard melee loadout. Interesting.
I'm on the move.
I guess they've actually started labeling the by loadout now.
Double time.
All right, Mike. We need you to carry the Doomsday Drill.
I'm going.
I suppose that's actually one of the rougher aspects of this particular ending we've chosen for ourselves. Even if we succeed, all of our mutated agents will die. Mike, Leroy, Fishman Mark, Nod and Alois, even Fox, half of the Bunny and Fox pair. A bittersweet victory.
Holding position.
Okay, so they definitely haven't seen us yet. Though, I'm sure that'll change once we get a little closer. Might as well toss out some decoys in advance. Yeah, that is slightly more in keeping with what we were expecting. Is that 2 Scyllas I'm seeing on the taskbar there? Yep, it most certainly is. Fantastic. Looks like a heavily armored melee build. And a very similar build, but with a goo gun. Alright, it's going to take them a full turn to get around that wall. Let's prep for incoming.
Standing by. Moving to coordinates.
We'll have to be extra careful with Mike. I do want him to participate, but his main goal is to get the payload to our target. We've got line of sight on a couple of these guys. Let's deploy turrets.
Deploying tech.
We're going to want to keep these things spread out. No sense in making it easy for them.
Deploying tech. I'm ready. Deploying.
We could take pot shots, but I think we'll just focus on setup for now. What we will do, though, is have one of the drones scatter. Even more on radar. Thankfully, it mostly looks like goo chyrons.
I'm here.
We are, of course, immune to goo.
Moving out. Hold position.
Providing overwatch.
Enemy contact.
Good, good. The more the merrier. Gotta be careful with these overwatch cones, especially with the guys in back. Nice. Very nice. Oh, neat. Never actually seen that thing fired before. Ah, I see we do have some machine gunners back there. Those are actually our biggest threat. And worm launchers. Those are just annoying. Huh. I think the goo... I think the goo actually immobilized the worms. Okay, they know we're here. We've got exploding poison worms all over the field. And we lost a spider bot. That's not too bad. Let's go ahead and start whittling these guys down. Though, I'm not actually sure they can make it past the goo. We will start with the queen, of course.
Yeah. Yes.
Slightly off. Didn't get the queen quite as hard as I was hoping we would, but we did get an extra Arthron.
All set.
Let's go ahead and trim her down a little more.
Let's get this done.
Nice.
Taking aim.
We'll go for a softer target. Oh well.
I'm going.
Alright, let's mow down that Scylla. Actually, let's trim off some more armor.
I'm here. Enemy contact.
Ooh, that's a stealth sniper. That is actually our biggest threat now. Scylla first, then we can worry about the mooks.
Ha!
Huh. Apparently, this will now leave Mike dazed. So we'll have to make sure he ends his turn undercover.
Yeah.
Alright, now we can mow this thing down. Oh. Man, those turrets are something else. You know what? I think we're going to be okay. Oh, stealth sniper on the move. I may have spoken too soon. Scylla's down. Most of the lesser mooks are now panicking. I guess we should go ahead and clear up these worms.
Enemy down.
I'm pretty sure this thing's immobilized, but I don't want to set it off by accident.
Hostile neutralized.
Yeah, you can actually see the goo icon on some of them.
Preparing to fire. Preparing to fire. Gotcha.
It's not much, but that'll at least keep them from detonating.
Ready for action.
Here. Just a bit off. Kill confirmed.
Standing by.
We've still got that other Scylla incoming, so we don't want to get too bold.
Regroup, people.
Huh.
I'm here.
All right, here we go. I don't think that actually hit anything. Oh. And there's that sniper.
All I need is a clear shot. Enemy down!
Alright, worms cleared. Except for these two. If those things can actually drop down on us, that would be problematic. Very nice.
Identifying target.
Aiming.
Siren's done. Might still finish it off manually, though. I think that might be enough to trigger another round of panic. Not quite.
All set. Ready to engage. Target down.
There we go. There goes half of them.
5 by 5. Overwatching.
Let's start prepping to move up.
Be right there. Acquiring. I'm on the move.
Just in case the worms drop.
Providing overwatch.
I'm ready.
We're not seeing that sniper, which is making me a bit nervous.
Target hit.
Yeah. Notice it stopped just short of the goo again. Even if we weren't mowing these things down, I don't think they'd be able to reach us. Alright, let's knock down that second Scylla. Take out that Triton.
Yeah.
We've still got that Siren hiding right around the corner, don't we? That's our last rocket. Now let's focus fire on the Scylla.
Taking aim.
No, that thing is still a tank. Wow, it's like we didn't even trim anything. We'll just trim one of the bigger locations.
Doing it.
Huh. You know what? That is actually a second Triton. Oh, right. Yeah, why not? My brain keeps telling me to live cap one of those worms for vivisection, but it literally doesn't matter at this point. That knocks off the rest of the armor.
Zooming in.
Ready to engage.
Gatekeeper's down.
Ready to fire.
Wow. Those, Virophage rifles just tear right through their shields. Okay, let's start pushing up. Clear those last couple of Tritons. Ah, we've got a plasma bug. Oh, I see. The gate's opened. Hey, little guy. Okay, so we do still... Oh! There you are. I was really hoping that guy bled out.
What's our move?
Redeploying turret. Right, there's our second siren. Let's go ahead and take that out. Yeah, let's go ahead and finish it. We're going to need to redeploy the rest of the turrets, too. Still got a bunch of Chirons to take out.
All set. On the move.
Where is that sniper?
Taking aim.
We'll start pushing up more aggressively.
Yes. All I need is a clear shot.
Not enough. We'll have to give it another lub tap.
Standing by. Be right there. I'm on the move.
Yeah, I guess that'll have to do.
Five by 5.
Hey there. We'll take care of you in just a moment.
Pushing on.
Taking
Hostile down.
All right. Someone want to put that Triton out of our misery? Target disarmed. Let's knock out that Arthron. I think that actually clears all our current threats. I'm also pretty sure the plasma bugs can't hit us from where they are. Okay, I don't think we're in any immediate danger at the moment, so let's skip forward a few turns. Just gonna collect our turrets, kill these Chirons, and move up to the second chamber.
Let's roll.
Alright, I think this is a good place to jump back in. All but one of the Chirons are down. As suspected, the plasma bugs could not launch over the wall.
Gotta be quick.
We also have a token guard that showed up as we approached, but we cut them down pretty quick. Just a siren and a couple of Arthrons. Nothing serious.
Running.
And there goes our spider drones. Sad to see them go, but they serve their purpose.
I'm here. Taking aim. Ready to fire. Ready to engage.
Breaching. That's the last of them, but I can't imagine that our approach to the receptacle is clear. We do have these weird little sarlacc pits, but they haven't actually done anything yet, so they might just be scenery. We'll keep an eye on them. You know, we've still got like 5 turns of movement to reach our target, so let's skip ahead again. Okay, so it turns out those sarlacc pits actually vomit up reinforcements every couple of turns. We're making our final approach on the receptacle, but they are slowing us down a bit. It turns out the receptacle itself also has some sort of psychic AoE, which I wish I'd known coming into this, because we've actually got a half-dozen psychic shields sitting in storage back at our base. For now, though, I'm really just trying to keep our guys scattered. Oh yeah, these guys also have guns. Hey there, beautiful. Oof, that psychic damage is really starting to stack up. We're gonna have to keep our engineers on their toes. Alright, so at the moment we've got most of our short and medium range fighters approaching from the right. The receptacle has an invincible shield, but there seems to be an opening on the right side.
Aiming.
We've got our snipers focused on just keeping their approach clear.
Advancing. Holding position.
You know what this kind of reminds me of is a much longer, more drawn-out version of your confrontation with the Master at the end of the original Fallout. That basically involved having to fight your way past a small army of the Master's minions, and then approaching through an organic goo-filled corridor as you were subjected to wave after wave of his psychic assaults. I'd say there's even some visual and thematic similarities. They're both Gestalt beings, built from multiple humans, and in both cases they were trying to repurpose humanity to fit their own needs. Hello. Goodbye. Oh, yeah, that psychic damage is definitely starting to stack up.
Comms online.
I'm not sure if it actually clears. Some of our guys have had those marks on them for 4 or 5 turns now.
Let's go. Providing medical attention. Healing.
Oh, worth noting,
Right there.
they have finally fixed the technician's healing animation.
5 by 5.
Anyway, I think that gives you an idea of what we're going through right now. Let's get forward again. We've still got like half a football field to cover.
Overwatching.
Okay, so it turns out the marks do not wear off. The majority of our squad is now taking 40 to 50 damage every turn, which is keeping our engineers quite busy. And it turns out this thing reconfigures its shields every time we actually hit it. So now we need to split our guys to cover both angles. It also turns out it is 75% immune to explosive and special damage, so not much point in lobbing grenades over that shield either.
Setting it up.
Gotta say, I am actually kind of bummed out. I like the concept of this fight. I think the receptacle looks cool. And I mean, it is, like I said, very reminiscent of the confrontation with the Master at the end of Fallout. But they drew this out way too much. I mean, I'm already planning to trim this pretty aggressively, but I'm coming up on the 2-hour mark here.
Holding position.
It's basically just one long, grueling war of attrition. I will say, even if we did have the psi shields, that only reduces the psychic damage by half, so we would still be facing the same situation. We just have a little more time to deal with it. As it currently stands, if we don't wrap this up in another 3 or 4 turns, our engineers are going to start having a hard time keeping up with it.
Overwatching.
Right. More Arthrons on the way. No, turret number 5. Oh. Oh, hey. You have just made a terrible mistake. That is the first time it's opened one of its central shields. We can hammer it from both sides now.
All set.
Ready to fire.
Identifying target.
Do we have a plan?
Heals, please. Glad I loaded extra canisters for the engineers. We've been burning through healing juice pretty quick.
On the move.
We've actually had to spend so much time healing, we've barely had time to deploy any turrets.
Deploying. Confirming target. Confirming target.
Fall back! Fall back!
Oh, shoot. And double shoot. Who is that? MZ? Yep, that is Mike Zitter. He might actually be in trouble. Alright, let's just go all in here. The mark can't kill us if we kill ourselves first.
I've got to focus.
Mike's got our nuclear football, so we've got to get him in close.
Identifying target.
Ready for action. Be right there. Using.
Come on. One more hit will do it. And there we go. The Agothian receptacle has been defeated. All we have to do now is spike the ball. Though I can't help but notice The psychic marks have not cleared. That is unfortunate. Let's see. Maybe Wizard can carry it in for us.
All set.
Not sure that's gonna make it. Well, we've got to at least try.
No time to lose. Moving out.
I'll take that. Just as well. I suppose we wouldn't want poor Mike standing at point blank when we set this thing off. And of course we're one space short. Why not? Hi there. Oh, hey, look at that. No one died. Let's wrap this up.
What's our move? Moving.
Man, what do I even say here? It's been a long and interesting ride. See you on the other side.
We had no choice. None of the factions had a viable plan. There was no other way to save the planet, and sometimes the ends had to justify the means. That's what we told ourselves anyway. Within minutes, the Pandora virus began to die, and its creatures soon followed. They died by the millions, and soon the rest of us were dying too. Not everyone. Not enough to wipe us out, but too many. The disciples of Anu collapsed first. The Exalted died within 24 hours of the virophage being released. And without its prophet, the religion fell apart. The future it had promised was impossible now. Sanhedrin tried to fight, to develop a vaccine. And if they'd had more time, they might have succeeded. But they'd lost too many people to maintain their communities. Slowly, they faded out of existence. New Jericho had wanted a world without the Pandora virus, but this was not how they had imagined it. Within a few months, their havens had become ghost towns. Tobias West was one of the few to survive, having lived long enough to see his empire reduced to dust. In the end, despite our losses, we were the only ones left capable of guiding the survivors. We seized control. Humanity could no longer afford to divide itself into factions. And so the Phoenix Project began to build a new world. But although our responsibilities had widened, we did not forget our initial purpose. The war was not over. Up there in celestial darkness, something ancient and powerful still hungered for our planet. But next time, we'd be ready.
Oh, I guess that's it. Roll credits. Wow, so this is it. The end of Phoenix Point. At least, as of the current version. The ending was a bit abrupt, but in keeping, I think, with the overall bleak tone of the game in general. I mean, look, we obviously didn't get the happy, fuzzy ending that some of us would have liked, but to be fair, even before the campaign starts, humanity's already in a pretty rough spot. I mean, the Earth is basically irreparably damaged. And I think there's a lot to be said for basically coming full circle. The ancients, the precursor race, essentially sacrificed themselves to temporarily put a stop to the virus's spread, which we have basically done here as well. That aside, I would argue that even in its diminished state, humanity's in a much better position to fight the virus now than they were before the apocalypse. We understand the nature of the virus, we understand that it attacks in waves with a new attack launched every 17,000 years, and that's even assuming that the attack lands on Earth. That impact crater on the moon makes a lot more sense now that we understand it was a multi-staged attack over the millennia, as opposed to one giant attack millions of years ago. At any rate, an intriguing end to an intriguing story. I'm not going to pretend it was perfect, but I will say I did love that lore, and I am glad to finally fill in a bunch of the empty gaps I had in my knowledge. This is actually the very first time I've ever beaten the game, so a lot of the speculation I made in the past suddenly either makes sense or is now thoroughly proven wrong. From a gameplay standpoint, I will say Phoenix Point leaves something to be desired. I mean, look, I don't think there's any denying the game got a pretty rough launch, and to their credit, the developers over at Snapshot Games do seem committed to continue refining and improving upon that launch product. That might be too little too late for some folks, but for me, it's probably the best I can hope for from your average Kickstarter project. I mean, I gotta say, I've backed dozens of these things at this point, and this is definitely in the top third of the projects I've backed. Not a perfect launch, but they also didn't immediately abandon it when it stumbled coming out the starting gate. Like I said back in my launch overview, it's definitely not what I think a lot of us were expecting, but it's still not a bad game, and it has a lot of promise. There's a lot of potential there. And, of course, we still have 4 more DLC in the wings, with one of them coming out in just a few weeks. Not to mention a still unspecified amount of free post-launch content, as well as eventual mod support, most likely sometime next year after they've stabilized the core game. At any rate, I think we're pretty much done here, so this brings our journey to an end, at least for now. We will be returning to the world of Phoenix Point, but probably not until after they've implemented the majority of that post-launch content. I do look forward to seeing where the game ends up going. It's almost certainly not going to be where I was expecting, but that doesn't mean it won't be something that's great. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. Until then, this is RetconRaider, signing out. Thanks for watching. Thanks again to all the people who helped make this series possible. Links are in the description. Y'all know the drill. And I will catch you in the next apocalypse. See you then.